Hey comic fans, Dave here at Ground Zero, and it's time for another weekly look at what's new on the shelves at your favorite local comic book store. Now, I know a lot of you tuned into this video just to answer one question and one question only, and that is, did all the new books arrive this week? Well, understandable since we've had 3 weeks in a row with late shipping books. Well, this week the answer is an absolute resounding yes. In fact, when you see all the books back there, you're going to think we got not only this week's books, but next week's books as well. There's 83 titles back there, folks. So obviously it is a stupendous week for comic fans. So we're going to have a hard time just getting in the highlights in. So let's get started. We're going to begin with a lot of new series. It's inevitable with that many books that there's a lot of brand new #1 issues, starting with one that is something of a good news, bad news sort of situation. The good news is Chip Zdarsky. Chip Zdarsky is a fan favorite, obviously from his work on Devil's Reign and Daredevil, all the way to his indie books like Stillwater. He is a writer that always delivers, and he's got a brand new 10-issue series starting for DC Comics. The first issue is on the stands this week. And the bad news is, it's another Batman title. It's called The Knight. It's, I don't know, the 37th regular Batman title right now, but either way, it's Chip Zdarsky. Chip Zdarsky is great. So if you like Batman, now you get a great book to support, to read. So go DC. More Batman, please. Marvel, on the other hand, has many #1 issues this week. They decided to outdo DC soundly, beginning with the really much anticipated She-Hulk from Rainbow Rowell. She-Hulk has really been building in anticipation. Everybody's been wanting more She-Hulk, and so now we get it with a cool yellow and, well, green, because She-Hulk is green cover. So Rainbow Rowell certainly has a lot of fans, and her new She-Hulk book is in this week. Now, the next thing from Marvel, because obviously somebody out there demanded it, Ben Reilly in his own short series, Spider-Man. I don't know who it was that was sitting there somewhere saying, gosh, I wish they would bring Ben Reilly back in a monthly series. But whoever it was, you got your wish. More books from Marvel. Well, we get X Lives of Wolverine. This is going to run concurrently with the X Deaths of Wolverine. I think those titles are pretty self-explanatory. We also get in Silver Surfer now. For those of you who fondly remember the 90s run on Silver Surfer from Ron Lim and Ron Mars, this is going to take you right back to it because it is by Ron Lim and Ron Mars, and it's supposed to be kind of an untold tale from that era. So they have replicated everything you loved about that series, except for the really eye-ripping, awful flexograph printing that they used. Other than that, though, it's going to be a blast from the past. And finally, from Marvel, Silk #1, because if at first you don't succeed, try 6 or 7 more times. So that's what they're doing with Silk. Little known fact about Silk is all those earlier series, once you got past the first issue, the pages were blank. Marvel just thought they would see if you noticed. And apparently he didn't. Indie books. Indie is where the action is, so we're going to go right into the indies. First with a book that I've actually been kind of looking forward to. It's called We Ride Titans. This takes place where you've got all sorts of cities that Kaiju are attacking them, so you got giant monsters attacking the city. The city has, of course, a defense force that is giant mechs, the Titans of the title, and they are run by families who pass the riding of these mechs down through the generations. And surprisingly, it's not really so much about monster on mech action as you would think, and instead it's about the family behind it. It's kind of a soap opera. In fact, it's very much a soap opera. It would make a great Showtime or whatever series. So it's probably inevitable. It is definitely a soap opera about a dysfunctional family who also happens to ride giant mechs and fight monsters. That's kind of cool. Kurt Busiek is a writer that I love, and we haven't seen nearly as much from him as I would like to. He is back with the return of a beloved series from him called Aerosmith. Now this is with Image Comics, who will be doing, releasing a lot of his Astro City work. Looking forward to that. Either way, give Kurt Busiek some love. Maybe give Aerosmith a try. And finally, the book that will outsell them all is The Scorched. That is the new Spawn spinoff. The Spawn spinoffs have done really well, especially the first issues where everybody wants to stock up. And new Spawn series, it equates to money for Todd McFarlane, and Lord knows he needs it. So it's here. Even the manga are getting in on the action because we have 3 new volume 1s for manga. I guess it'd be a volume 1 rather than a #1. Starting with the Record of Ragnarok. That's actually one that's been kind of anticipated, building a lot of steam. We also get a new Pokemon. There's, of course, thousands of Pokemon manga out there, but this is a brand new volume 1 of Pokemon Adventures X and Y. And one Kate wanted me to mention, and that is the Dragon's Knight Beloved. She certainly was looking forward to this one and thought you would be interested as well. So a whole heaping help of #1 issues. But you know, when you have #1s, inevitably the 2s, 3s, 4s are going to follow if the series is any good. Just a couple of months ago, we had a great crop of brand new series starting. Well, we made it through the #2s, and now we are to the #3s. So we're going to take a look at a whole bunch of #3s. Why not? Starting with the major publishers, we get the 3rd issue of Robins. This surprised everybody because everybody seemed to want a book with a lot of Robins. And that's exactly what this is. Truth in advertising. We also get the 3rd issue of Wonder Woman Evolutions. I'm not entirely sure why they're making this book, like we needed more Wonder Woman books, but it is here, and it hit the big #3. And finally, the book that will also outsell them all, and that is Donny Cates' Hulk. Donny Cates obviously is king these days. You can add whatever joke you want to that, but his new Hulk series is made it to the big issue #3. But you all know where my heart is. The beloved books that I am looking forward to are all indie books. We had a lot of great indie books start a couple months ago, and they are now on their 3rd issue. So what do we have? Well, from Vault Comics, we've got The Rush. I really like this book. I tried explaining it a couple of months back. It's kind of hard. It's a kind of a pseudo-horror series. It takes place in old-time Klondike. It's cool. You just have to take a look at it. If you want to go take a look at this book, they're good, so you can give it a try. Vault has actually really been making a lot of waves. They have had a lot of really good series. So give Vault some love, because at this point, they deserve it. From Aftershock, a couple of series. First off, My Date with Monsters, another book I did my best to explain. It's got a really weird, kind of complicated, convoluted premise, but it's actually very cool. So go back and look at one of my earlier videos to see the explanation for that one, or just come in and give the book a try. One that I think has probably the coolest high concept of any of the new comics that have started is The Heathens. The premise is some of the most notorious evil figures from history can earn their way out of hell by assisting them in bringing back hell escapees. It's kind of a cool premise. The catch, of course, is they cannot harm an innocent in any way in trying to bring back these terrible demons or lost souls, whatever the case may be. It's again, it's really cool. It's a cool high concept series, certainly one that would make a terrific movie. So there you go. That seems to be where everybody's aiming these days. This one definitely has all of the elements that you would want, and it delivers with gusto. I like that word, gusto. 2 more that I will talk about. One is Gilliam March's Laura. Now, I'm going to be right up front here and say this is not as good as Carmen. It's an earlier work from him, but I loved Carmen so much I still was looking forward to this one, and you do get more of the same. This is really a guy that I like his work, so it's out now. Last one that I'm going to talk about is a book that I probably have enjoyed the most. What's the Furthest Place from Here? Matthew Rosenberg. Honestly, I don't quite know where they're going with this, and that is what is so cool about it. There are so many mysteries to untangle here. Where did all the grown-ups go? What is the plan of the strangers? What's happened to Sid? Where is she? Why is she gone? How does it all figure together? I don't know. Every time you think they're about to solve a mystery, they introduce 2 or 3 new ones, and it's all very weird. Handled really cool. It's very stylish. I like this book a lot. Even though I couldn't hardly tell you exactly where it's headed. But again, that's part of its charm. So What's the Furthest Place from Here from Image Comics hits the big issue #3 this week. And a whole bunch more back there. King Spawn, Moon Knight. There's lots and lots of great floppies back there. But we're going to go straight to the trades. Mention just a few of them. Starting with Cullen Bunn's Basilisk. This was a series I also thought was really cool. Really enjoyed this from Boom. They have done, I think it was Boom. Yes, it was. It was from Boom. And Boom is doing some great stuff these days. Basilisk is no exception. Get the first volume. Honestly, if you didn't pick this up in the floppies, come in and give this one a try. I really liked this one. This was actually quite good. A book that I don't really have to sell because it has absolutely sold very well on its own, and that is That Texas Blood. This one was very much a surprise hit. And the trades are no exception. This is the 2nd volume now, so if you're really that late to the party, we've got the first trade in stock, as should any good comic shop worth its salt. So go in and pick it up if you like dark, broody, violent, not exactly horror, but violent character studies. That Texas Blood is definitely the book you want to look up. One that I hardly have to mention, but I'm gonna, is James Tynion's Something is Killing the Children. You know, this book kind of reminds me a little of Walking Dead in that it started really slowly, didn't have a very big following, but it's grown and grown and grown. And really, it's the point now, it's been around long enough, I shouldn't have to mention this book, and yet new people keep discovering it. It's definitely got that kind of heat. I guess all it lacks is a TV series. Hint, hint. But either way, Something is Killing Children. This is, I think, the 4th volume. Yep, it is the 4th volume. It is out this week. Once again, if you're late to the party and you like horror, this is a book that definitely needs to be on your list. And if you like horror, you probably won't be all that excited about Transformers My Little Pony. And if you're thinking I'm just showing this book because my granddaughter likes it when I show My Little Pony books, you would not be wrong. So here it is. See, I get to do these things in my videos. Okay, so that's it. Now, folks, this is, I think, the 92nd, if I added them up correctly, video that I've done for these. So we're just 2 months away from 100. I'd like to get my numbers up by then, so let's please remember the 3 S's. That is like, subscribe, and share. And actually, in all honesty, there's a 4th S, and that is comment. Folks, if you got something to add, even if it's just, hey, let's have more Kate on these videos, that's okay. Put it in the comment section. We will answer all of those that we can, or at least read them all. So, folks, we look forward to it. And I knew, even going so fast, I was going to blow right past 10 minutes, so no cookies for Dave this week. But you know, you can have a cookie if you stayed all the way to the end. That goes for all of you. Folks, we appreciate you. We love you. Thanks for watching. As always, it's not about having what you want. It's about wanting what you have. Go out, do the day with gusto, visit your local comic shop. Thanks, everybody.